Hi everyone, it's KIREI here for Hey Little Magpie with a brand new layout using the Pinkfresh Studio Legendary collection by Paige Evans. And I'm also using the brand new Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit for March. So I have pulled out, I've got a sheet of white cardstock, that's going to be my background, and I've pulled out a number of pattern papers here. I have a bit of an idea with what I'm going to do. I love the stripe background, so I'm just going to cut all of the coloured stripes up, and I'm going to distress all the edges as I would always do, and then I'm going to put them down onto the background to create a bit of a sort of rainbow effect. And then I've got a number of the other pattern papers I've pulled out. Not quite sure. I was thinking I might sort of layer them up and then add my photos as strips over the top. But let's see where we go. Okay, so strips are all done. I'm going to get those stuck down, and I'm just going to get them stuck down from close to the top of the page, and then I'm just going to layer the others slightly over each one, just slightly, and bring them down so that I create this really colourful rainbow background. I thought it was really effective, and by cutting the stripes off the full 12 by 12 paper, I feel like I get a bit more dimension from it by, the distressed edges. So there we go. That's all done. So I have my photos, and I have 8 photos, and I'm going to create 2 vertical photo strips. And I decided I was going to go with the red because I felt like that sort of popped from the background. I was thinking about doing different colours, but I stuck. I just went, no, I'm going to stick with just going with the red. So I'm going to create, as I said, 2 photo strips, and then they will sit on one side of the background. So the photos are from my husband's little brother's 40th birthday last year. So it was in December, and his wife organised a bit of a surprise gathering of family, really. And we all went into London, up to Knightsbridge, and we went to this bar called the Beauchamp. Sam loves a cocktail or two, so it was perfect. So we had time in there before we went out for dinner. So yeah, it was lovely, and we did. I have to say, cocktails were delicious. So, and then after that, we went out to Hawksmoor in Knightsbridge. It's a steak restaurant. There's a few of them around London, and Sam also loves a steak. So really, it was the perfect combination: cocktails and steak. So yeah, so we had a fabulous time. It was really, really good. Yeah, so I've had this down on my list to scrapbook for some time. So when I was going to work with this collection, I thought it just sort of worked really, really well. The colours worked really well. There's, my photos are just really a mix of colours. I felt like the bright stripes and all the different bits and pieces that I've got with it. I'm using the ephemera. I've got the regular ephemera, and I've got the journaling ephemera. So I've got elements from both. And then I'm just working out where everything's going to sit. So I've pulled in the Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit. This is the one for March. And I'm just adding some of the bits and pieces. So I've got some little acrylic hearts. I've got the fabric flowers, and I'm just sort of working them into my cluster. I'm not keeping totally tone on tone, but what you'll see is I've gone on either side with the clusters. I've sort of kept to the sort of reddy oranges at the top, and then I sort of come down with the greens and then the blues. So, so slightly tone on tone. So just sort of building it all up, making sure I'm happy with it. Take a photo because I need to move it all off so I can get it all stuck down. So my photo strips, I am going to raise them completely on with using the foam pads here. Usually when I'm putting photos onto a layout, I'll just add foam strips along the top edge and keeping them flat at the bottom. But I do find when I'm doing photo strips, I often just raise them completely. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do here, just with my foam. And then I can get that stuck down and get the embellishments onto all stuck down the cluster. And yeah, so I was pleased how this one came together. I mean, Legendary is obviously one of Paige's collections with Pinkfresh Studio, and there's lots of it's quite bold, quite graphic designs in the pattern papers. But I feel like it is a collection, even though it slightly leans more male, I guess. It is the sort of collection that can work with, all sorts of photos. I mean, this is obviously a birthday party. Yes, it's Sam's, but I feel like it's colourful. It could work for, all sorts of things. So, yeah. Okay, so now I can get the clusters back in place and get them stuck down. So here we go. I'm just going to use my Nuvo glue, and I'm just adding a little bit of glue, and keeping all the edges raised up like I always do. And then I'll work my way down. So yeah, so I was really pleased how this one came together. I think this is the second one I've done using Legendary actually, and I've got more, so I can definitely got more to use. So it will no doubt make an appearance at some time later in the future. Okay, little acrylic hearts I'm just adding here. I've got them in, it's like a glittery gold and green. I did set the green. I have set the green one, to be fair, on the right over the light blue, but it was fine because I've got the green sort of cascading down, and then I can get to work on that left side as well. So because now I've added the foam in, I don't have as much room to tuck things under. So just trimming off some of the edges of those journaling pieces. And that was the thing for me with the journaling pieces. You don't have to just use them as a journaling thing. They're great for tucking under. And here I just pulled out all the ones with the words on it that I really liked. So I've got things like legendary moments, happy to be here, taking note of this, love this, and just layering them all up and building up that cluster over on the left there. So yeah, because I think sometimes you get a whole pack of journaling ephemera, and I guess sometimes it's like, what am I going to do with all of it? But you can definitely do it. I mean, obviously use it for tucking in behind photos, and adding a journaling on in that way, or using it, straight onto a layout. But I like this idea as well, where I'm just tucking in the journaling pieces down the left there. Okay, and I think we're nearly done. What else? Oh, I need to add a title. So, and I've got the enamel shapes. So there's hearts and dots. Start with the hearts. Now I get a few of these placed, but I do actually change this, and I end up just creating some circle clusters. I do a blue cluster at the bottom, right? I do a green over to the left, and then a red up the top there on the journaling card. Now this is a Pinkfresh Studio Alpha, but it is an older Alpha from my stash. There is a coordinating Alpha with the Legendary collection, but I don't have that. So, but I am just bringing in this one. Obviously, you can, if you were replicating this sort of layout, you can, make any Alpha work for you. Okay, here we go. Final completed layout and all the close-ups. You can see all the fabulous little embellishments from the Hey Little Magpie embellishment kit, and just some of that detail from the layout. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.